So the best thing that we're experiencing right now when it comes to the Marvels is the absolute shills that are going crazy over the movie in terms of defending the movie, attacking people on Twitter over the movie. It is really damn hilarious. I've gotten into a verbal scuffle with quite a few of them on Twitter, but these three are probably one of the more prominent people that are going crazy over the Marvels. So we have Heather Antos, Gail Simone, and Kelly Sue DeConnick. Kelly Sue DeConnick is probably the more prominent one, the very typical if you don't like it, don't read it kind of a thing. Don't buy my book. And then if nobody bought the book, and then she started complaining that nobody bought the book. But that's besides the point. They encourage their fans to see the Marvels and demean individuals with opposing opinions. This has been going on Twitter for quite a bit now. Like, it's been going crazy, and let's get into it, guys. So let's get into the article from Mounting Into Comics. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button, man. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. It says the women in comics are out in force defending the honor of the Marvels movie, which failed spectacularly at the box office for its opening weekend. Heather Antos, Gail Simone, Kelly Sue DeConnick, and others are actively trying to gatekeep fan opinions, imploring them to see the movie and to be quiet about their criticisms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what appears to be a coordinated narrative on behalf of women in the comic book industry. It's amazing that women just cannot stand on their own 2 feet. They always have to blame men. Even in the comics, like, they're like, oh, nobody's watching my movie. It's got to be men's fault. Clearly, it's just ridiculous at this point. For the past few days, excuses have been made for why the Marvels underperformed. Like most recent MCU offerings, Disney shills pushed back on the fans, calling them sexist, misogynist, and more. One writer for Screen Rant implied it was some problem with men rather than the movie itself. She tweeted, "It's really interesting to me that it's all men who are very actively hating on the Marvel. The movie isn't perfect. Read my review for my thoughts, but it doesn't deserve the hate many men are giving it." But the funny thing is, it's men that went to go see the movie. Almost 70% of the people that went to go see the Marvels, guess what? Were men. Men are the only ones that are actively supporting this movie. You guys are trying to complain all the time about men, and yet men are the ones that went to go pay to go see it. Where are the women? Where are the women who went to go see Barbie and show all the support for that movie because that was an ultra feminist movie? Where is the support for the Marvels? Oh, it's because women don't watch this shit. That's the thing. Women do not en masse watch this stuff. Obviously, there are women that do, but if you're talking about the vast majority, it is men that watch the superhero stuff. That's just how it's always been. It has always been a man thing for the most part, and some women partake in it every now and then. But the fact is, now you got these women who are basically in male-dominated spaces trying to take protection over any little bit that they have, and the Marvels is essentially what they're latching onto now because that's all they really got. But still, to blame men when men were 70% of the people who saw it, you're stupid. Like, you're really stupid. You have to be stupid. It says this set the stage for a narrative formed by the leaders of a recent feminist movement in the comic book industry. The Marvels became a cause for them to champion, not just a regular film on screen. Gail Simone took to X.com the evening of the Marvels release to shame fans, criticizing how bad the Marvels production was, saying, "Good Lord, let people like things." It was unclear who this subtweet referred to, but the timing made it sound like it was involved with the Marvels. The only problem, however, is not many people are posting that they like the Marvels, at least not many people outside of those with mainstream comic book jobs. That's exactly the point, man. You have the only people that are talking positive about this movie are people who are trying to either maintain their access, right, or gain access. That's the only two, right? So people who are in the comic book industry who have to maintain their access, they're gonna say good things about this film, whether or not they actually liked it. Where other people who are trying to gain access, right? You have some shill YouTubers, you have some shill media websites, you have a whole bunch of different shills that are out there trying to gain access to Marvel. That's essentially what they're trying to do. They're trying to gain media access, and the only way to do that is basically kiss the boot of Marvel. So they're not going to talk bad about the film either. But everybody else who has no skin in the game, who's not trying to gain access or maintain access, they're going to tell you the truth about the film. And these people who are trying to maintain their access do not like when people talk true about a film that they are trying to virtue signal about. It says hypocritically, Simone will mock people expressing their loss of interest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She responded to one person expressing such opinion, writing, "Important news. The embattled Heather Antos, group editor of licensing at IDW Publishing, posted the Marvels is the most fun I've had at a superhero film for a very long time. Do not miss out." Yeah, okay. Okay, sure. How bad do you want a job at Marvel? It's very clear, Heather Antos. How bad do you want a job at Marvel? Don't worry, you're going to get that job one day. They're going to be they're going to be looking for a woman who's going to do whatever the hell they say, and they're going to need you. Don't worry, you're going to get hired soon. The Post tried to instill some sort of fear in her fans that if they didn't see it, they would somehow be unable to see the movie when it inevitably hits Disney Plus in a couple of months. The Marvels is not a limited commodity, so it doesn't make sense unless she's pointing out that the film is bound to be out of theaters in short order. The implication is the movie's failing, and people like Antos are being called upon in a desperate attempt to promote it. Antos would also retweet Jesse Earl, implying individuals who do not like Marvel Studios turning into the MCU as racist and misogynist. Earl wrote half the reason these franchises still exist is because women kept them alive when they were dormant and to go see them alongside men when it was men focused. What the fuck? What world are you living in, Jesse Earl? Are you kidding me? Women kept this alive? Are you kidding me right now? What an idiot. Like, there's no way this person said that with a straight face. I gotta read the rest of this. But heaven fucking forbid you watch a single movie with a woman in lead role, let alone one with two non-white leads. Okay, so it's very clear where Jesse Earl stands. But the fact that Jesse Earl thinks that women are the ones that kept the MCU where it was, the MCU was not dormant. The MCU was not dormant. That's the funny thing. For the first 10 years plus of its life, during the actual Infinity War saga and all the movies that played out, it was not a dormant franchise. Men made that into what it is. Men went and supported it because it was a great MCU. Now with the MCU in phase 4 and phase 5, that's when it's been dormant. And you're not supporting it. The numbers clearly show that women are not supporting it. 30%? 30%? That's what you call support? 30%? There's more women than men in this country. So why would you think that you're supporting it and you're the reason why the movies were successful? Just leave it up to a woman to take credit for what a man does. It's amazing, man. It is absolutely fucking amazing. Finally, Kelly Sue DeConnick made her plea for the Marvels. DeConnick is the woman who took the beloved Carol Danvers Miss Marvel character and turned her into Captain Marvel in the comic books, which soon became a mockery because of the androgynous way she was depicted, with many critics calling her Carol Manverse to mock it. She stated, P.S. Go see the Marvels and do it this weekend if you can. This woman just looks psychotic. Like, why would you take anything she says seriously when she very clearly is insane? You could just see it in her eyes. She wanted her audience to boost the opening weekend numbers, but not many saw the film as it posted the lowest opening weekend in MCU history. These women in comics are trying as hard as they can to shill for the MCU to turn into a feminist propaganda series, but their impact is as poor as the sales of the books that they worked on when they first transformed comics into what these movies are now becoming. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's very obvious that these women are going to do what they got to do to try to make it seem as if the Marvels is the greatest thing ever. They have skin in the game, people. They have skin in the game. They need these movies to succeed because they're the ones behind the writing. They're the ones that are making the comics that are involving this kind of ideology. They're the ones who were hired to push this nonsense. And they desperately need any sort of relevance in order to keep their jobs. So they need to make this a thing. They're going to try to make it a thing, but it's very clear based off the numbers that do not lie, the numbers don't lie, women did not come out and support the Marvels, and they still are not supporting the Marvels as it is slowly dying a very quick death. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.